Welcome back, Tribe. I have one here that was recommended by somebody on my email from a small channel, David Flanks. It says how sex workers predict market crashes. He's got nearly 1 million views in a month.
We are going into a huge recession. Here's how I know. We just got our 1099s back. So I'm going to show you what a bad year at the Mustang Ranch looks like.
This is Dace. She's a sex worker working out in Nevada. She recently posted a video where she reported that her income dropped 64% this past year and makes the prediction that a huge recession is coming. You're probably asking yourself, why are we bringing this up on an investing channel? Well, it turns out sex workers might be surprisingly good at predicting market corrections. In 2022, Twitter user Botticelli Bimbo, yes, I just said that, correctly predicted the economic decline that we saw later that year. Economists have taken note of this phenomenon, and they've even dubbed this the stripper index. In this video, we'll take a look at the veracity of the so-called stripper index.
There's another one with boxes, like all the companies that order those Amazon boxes for shipping and stuff. If you notice that the box orders themselves go down, then that means, further down the supply chain, there's just far less business being conducted between the vendors because far less demand is there from consumers. And then, of course, we get these weird things like billionaires building bunkers or Zuckerberg and Jamie Dimon from Chase, big bank CEOs, stuff like that, are selling billions and billions of dollars worth of stock right now this year and last year. What do they know that we don't, kind of thing.
Index to see if there's actual truth here or not, and to see if there's an impending market decline. So it seems there's a lot of froth in the market. Coupled with the stripper index, does that mean that a crash is coming? The theory is that when an economic recession is approaching, people tend to prioritize basic necessities over luxury expenses. Since the sex industry is the utmost of discretionary expenses, the thought is that sex workers can sense this reduced spending earlier than some other macroeconomic indicators. As labor economist Sonia Khan told Glamour magazine, when people have less discretionary money, going to strip clubs isn't an immediate necessary thing that they have to do. In recessions, people are spending more on the things they need, their bills, food, energy, gas. This sector of the economy is called non-discretionary spending. So, what can Dace's prediction tell us about where we stand today? And more importantly, can we back it up with data? Unfortunately, by the very nature of the stripper index being an anecdotal indicator, we actually don't have a lot of options here. Looking to the public markets, the largest strip club conglomerate is a public company called RCI Hospitality, which I couldn't find any correlation between their performance and the market performance. If we look at more traditional macroeconomic factors, like the Consumer Confidence Index, jobs data, or consumer spending, we don't really have any indications that a market correction is imminent. There are certainly some signs though, and Dace points them out.
There are people I've met that I cannot tell you about and things I've heard that I can't repeat. But if my 1099 shared with you from last year was not enough for you to see the writing on the wall, let me share with you these things that I can. Bezos cashed out $8.5 billion in 1 month alone. The CEO of JP Morgan selling for the first time ever. Leon Black also selling for the first time ever. We got Zuckerberg out here selling the Meta stocks too. Walton family selling $1.5 billion. But
Damn.
wait, there's more. No, really, I could keep going.
But that doesn't mean that the stripper index is entirely useless. When I hear things like this, or other anecdotal indicators like the shoeshine boy indicator, I treat it like I'm hearing a funky noise in an engine. If you're curious about the shoeshine boy indicator, we actually talked about it in one of our last videos. We'll be sure to link it here in case you want to check it out. The funky noise in the engine example is pretty useful. If you were driving down the road and you heard a funky noise in your engine, you'd pull over and you'd investigate it. If you hear a sex worker talking about tips drying up, or anyone who works in a strong discretionary spending environment starting to struggle, then collect that data point and go check the engine. If we take a look at the economy, as of right now, there are no bleeding indicators that a crash is coming. We support Buffett-style investing, and it's his belief that you should never try to time the market. The fact of the matter is that no one knows when a crash is coming. But when people start claiming that something might be happening, it's worth it to stop and check their claim. I remain agnostic on whether or not a market crash is coming, but I do know that valuations seem high. I'm having a difficult time finding wonderful companies trading at fair prices.
But basically what you need to know about timing the market anyways is it could stay irrational. It's that famous quote, the market could stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. And that is true. By the way, the guy that predicted the big short, because I was reading about that. Michael Burry is his name. So it says the big short hedge fund pulls out of 100. He pulled out. Okay, so earlier in the year in 2023, I remember he was saying that, or he was timing that we're going to have a market crash. Everything in the market was looking overheated. So he closed all his bets against the S&P 500 and NASDAQ. There we go. So he ate some sick losses there. Okay. And then you'll get other headlines like this. Warren Buffett and big shorts Michael Burry. Why are they selling Apple and buying gold? And we know that people see gold as sort of a safe haven in uncertain times. And for those that predict and speculate that we have a volatile market or an incoming recession or something of the sorts, a downturn in the market, typically will park their money in gold. It's common sense for any basic like 101 investor, which makes sense that some of the big guys are starting to move in that direction. If the stripper index is correct, I don't know what Wall Street bets are doing and how they're memeing their latest shorts and their puts and all that stuff, but there's always winners, even in a down market. And they even have the article here. I don't know if he cited it in his video from Berkeley, decoding the economic signals of sex work. And basically the conclusion here was a Reddit user posted this, said, when patrons can't afford to throw a few singles in the air or pay for a $20 lap dance, we might be up shit's creek. Sex work predicted the 2008 Great Recession and the cycle of economic decline in 2022. The economists have begun to grasp the relationships between the sex industry and the microeconomics of observing consumer spending and national economic cycles. The SI, we'll call it that, the TSI, not only offers a new perspective on predicting economic trends, but also emphasizes the importance of broadening our understanding of the factors that influence financial markets, destigmatizing sex work, Jesus, and recognizing its role as a significant economic contributor is the next step. The SI stands as a reminder that a diverse range of factors and industries can provide essential clues. It's just another indicator, and it may be a leading one. In order to find out truly just how effective this is, the boys that are out there going to the clubs, we need you guys to do some research. You got to go to the clubs, ask the girls how it's been, what's the average, how do you compare the last quarter to this quarter? We need to gather some economic data, boys, so we can get on them puts and get rich, Wall Street bet style. Okay, we got to harness the power of the group. And once we come back with the data, let's strategize. Okay. Oh man. We'll see you guys on the next one.